Hey guys, Cheri from The Watering Mouth here, doing a video about 6 meals that I feed my little toddler baby, lovely, wonderful daughter, Isabella, or Isa as we call her for short. So she has to go to daycare tomorrow for the day because I have some appointments I have to take care of. She's going to be there from 8:30 to 4:30-ish, depending on when she wakes up from her nap. So that means she'll have breakfast, lunch, and hopefully several snacks during the day. So what I try to do when I have to send her away to daycare, we try not to do that very often, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. So I try to just pack as much food, give her as much food as possible, and I allow the wonderful daycare lady to sort of pick and choose what she's gonna eat, so she has lots of choices. I'm gonna be sending about 3 or 4 different meals with her just to make sure that she gets variety, and in case she doesn't want one thing, she has choices. But I'm going to show you 6 things so you guys can see a few examples of meals that I give her, and some of them are frozen and some of them I've already made, and I'll show you those. I'm going to be putting all of these meals into a cheat sheet for you, so you must sign up at thewateringmouth.com/cheat sheets to get this cheat sheet. It'll have all 6 recipes in there so you guys can have those for reference. I'm going to keep doing information about what I feed my toddler, what I feed my growing child as a 100% Nutritarian as we go, so keep an eye out. And here we go, let's get into it. The thing that I keep in mind when I'm trying to feed her, the thing that I learned during this time of feeding me and feeding her at the same time, was that I needed to actually think the complete opposite of how I think for myself feeding her. She needs more calories. She needs high calorie foods. And I've done a lot of research in Furman's Forum and all that, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do. Reduce the veggies a little bit, increase the amount of nuts, nut butters, grains, things like that. Because the thing is, my child is pretty picky too, so when she wants to eat something, you know, she'll eat it and then she might not eat it the next day. So I have to constantly be moving things around and making sure that she'll eat what I make for her. And so I can't be wasting time giving her tons of veggies because she just won't get enough calories. So when I'm feeding her, what I'm thinking is 3 things. I think grains, fat, and protein. Those are the first 3 things I think of, and then I add in some fruits and vegetables. She doesn't really have a problem getting in vegetables. She likes them. I've been feeding them to her since the beginning. I imagine there's going to be a time in the near future where she won't want them anymore, but this is where we are now. So that's not too much of a concern to get veggies into her. More of my concern is making sure that she's getting enough calories with the fat and the protein. So I always think that first. So I'll think nut butters, I think avocado. She loves to just eat half an avocado at a time, kind of a deal. I'll think like I'll use those as sauces. I'll use nut butters and hummus and things like this as sauce for her for various things. And then I'll think grains. So can I add oatmeal somehow, or can I make some kind of a pancake or something out of a grain, or can I feed her some whole grains, like make some wheat berries or oat groats or something like that and feed that to her as well. I love to use teff, which is a very, very tiny grain. It's a little bit hard to find, but it's super, super small. I love to use it in meals because it's easy to mix into things, just add some extra calories. And then every day I also try to give her some of my morning smoothie so she gets some really good greens in. She usually only drink maybe a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup max, usually a 1/4 cup of the smoothie or less, but I know she's getting in some really good greens that way, and that's kind of all I can do. I make sure the smoothie has nut butter in it as well, so she's getting like some fruit and some nut butter, not just greens, and she really likes it. It's kind of our little morning ritual. After I finish my smoothie, making my smoothie, we sit down on the kitchen floor and we have like a few little gulps of our smoothies together. That's kind of how I work it. So I'm going to show you what I made her. I've already prepared a few meals for what she's going to have for tomorrow. I'll show you kind of how this works, and then I'm going to show you the freezer meals as well. I'm not going to tell you everything about how I prepare them because you'll be able to learn that in the cheat sheet, but I'm just going to show you what I'm sending for her tomorrow, and then the other meals that I have in the freezer, everything's just going to be in the cheat sheet recipe style. Okay, so this is what I'm sending for her tomorrow minus one thing. Breakfast is in here, and she really only eats about half of this for breakfast, or maybe even a little less, but I'm packing double just in case because she likes it. So this is one of those things that she'll tend to eat if she won't eat anything else. This is just oatmeal. Well, it's a baby oatmeal actually. This is the brand Earth's Best multigrain cereal that we use. It's like a baby food kind of one. Oats, spelt, and barley. The reason that we give her this is because it's fortified with iron. She was a little low on her iron a while back. Now she's in the perfect range because we've been giving her this cereal and being very kind of diligent about it. Now I really like this brand, I really like this cereal, but make sure you don't get the one with rice in it because rice has a lot of arsenic in it. You don't want to be feeding that to babies. And also make sure if you're going to get this brand, get it at the store. I get it at Target or Whole Foods. I think you might even be able to get it at regular grocery stores too. But don't get it on Amazon because the brands and the manufacturers don't seem to be up to the right quality standards, because you'll see a ton of ingredients in there that don't exist in this one that I just get at the store, which is just barley flour, whole grain flour, spelt flour, and then some of the iron, right? Make sure you get this at the store. So I basically mash up a banana with some nut butter, and then I add some berries sometimes too, frozen or fresh, or cherries or whatever. So the banana is what sweetens it. And then I add 2 or 3 tablespoons of that cereal, and I add a little bit of soy milk, fortified soy milk. Mix it all up, and that's what this is. So she has this for breakfast almost every day, and she loves it. Meal number 2. Okay, so what else did I make her? I made her some steamed broccoli. She loves broccoli. So I just steam it real soft so she can eat it piece by piece, and she's 16 months, so she can eat this stuff by herself without needing it really chopped up. And then I make like a concoction usually of, I pretty much always send this with her. Some days she wants it, some days she doesn't. This is broccoli, kidney beans. I made some kidney beans for the week, and so I just kind of been taking them out, chopping them up, and putting them in here. So it's broccoli, kidney beans, and then what I call her nut butter sauce. It's literally just some nut butter and soy milk thinned out, and then I just mix it into the food. She loves nut butter sauce the most. Sometimes I put hummus in it, sometimes I put tomato sauce, sometimes nutritional yeast, but usually if it's just nut butter sauce, she'll always eat it. I find that sometimes she wants plain veggies, and then sometimes she wants the ones with sauce. If she's really hungry for a meal, like it's been a couple hours, like 3 or 4 hours since her last meal, she'll usually eat it in the sort of mix like this. This way she can get some really good fats, and she can get, veggies of course, but she can get the beans as well. So good protein and fat. So there's that meal. Sometimes I let her feed herself, sometimes I feed her. Okay, so we've got those 3. I always send a lot of fruit with her, to have some just blueberries that the daycare will chop up for her, and to have a couple of bananas just in case. I don't know how much she'll eat or what she'll eat. Then I also always send just some nut butter sauce anyways. This is the same sauce that I put in this mixture. It's just peanut butter and soy milk in case she wants some sauce or whatever. And then here's my favorite meal to give her. I mentioned about these before actually in the challenge. These are just oatmeal and banana pancakes. These are the high nutrient ones. I put in a little bit of kale, and I put in some hemp seeds for her. Super easy recipe, and I love these because I can just freeze them and take them out little by little. Saves me a lot of the time when I don't feel like sitting her down and having a full meal or whatever. Like, I can just give her a pancake every once in a while. Sometimes it's just easier. You don't feel like doing a full meal. So this is what I'm sending with her for food tomorrow. This is going to be plenty. She probably will only eat half of whatever I send. The other thing I'm going to send is a whole avocado too, a whole ripe avocado. I just have to get one. We don't have any right now. Now here's a few other meals that I send with her on occasion. These are freezer meals. So this one is sort of a bean ball. It's meatballs, but it's made of beans and veggies and flour and oatmeal, I think. So I'll give you a recipe for these. So I make a ton of them, and then I just put them into a Ziploc and freeze them. And then when I want to use them, I just microwave them for a minute, and then she can eat them just like that. Sometimes we dip them in the nut butter sauce. Sometimes she doesn't like these, sometimes she does. But I have to say, even if she doesn't like them, I like them because I just have them in the fridge. And then sometimes if I'm feeling lazy and I don't know, if I didn't have like beans drained or made or something like that, I just pull out a few of these and just eat them with my salad, and there I've had my beans for the day. So this is a real easy way, and they're like not even processed, right? Like I just kind of mash the beans with the veggies and then bake them. That's it. Those are a really good option. Let me show you a couple other things that I keep in my freezer. Another thing that I do, I forgot to mention this, but if I have soup in the freezer ready made, sometimes I'll just feed her soup, or I'll add a bunch of nut butter to the soup, or whatever. If I have any extra veggies in the fridge or whatever, I might add some fresh veggies to it. So sometimes I'll do soup for her. That's one I forgot to mention. But here's another meal that I made. These are kind of weird. You can see them, they're like little patties. They're like little tofu patties, and they're just really easy to freeze. But basically what they are is tofu and vegetables kind of blended together, food processor style, and then you bake them in the oven into these little like quiches. They're kind of like little mini quiches, and they're okay. She doesn't love them, but what I have done is actually chop them up and put them in that little mix that I make for her in this meal here. Like, I can make any mix of plant-based foods in here. Like, I could do lentils or any, you know, any kind of bean, any kind of vegetable, any kind of nut butter sauce. This is really, really kind of versatile. And then I just, someday she'll eat it, someday she won't, but it's really easy to get, you know, lots of good plant foods in one meal. And I just chop up those, sometimes I chop up those tofu cake little quiche things and I'll put them in here too. So that's one way that works. And then the last thing that I have in here to show you guys is I made a bunch of chickpea pancakes the other day. I had a bunch of veggies to use up and I just made, can't see them very good, but I just made some chickpea pancakes. These are just, well, basically pancakes made with chickpea flour. And so I froze them and I can just microwave them and have her eat little bits of it. So sometimes she'll eat it just like a pancake. And we don't usually put sauce on pancakes or anything. We just eat them, you know, little bites like that. And then sometimes I will add some avocado to it or something, so it has a little, or some nut butter sauce or something like that. And then that's kind of how I feed her those pancakes. But you could also chop those up into small pieces and put them into this mixed meal as well, along with, you know, some extra beans or whatever different kind of sauce. That's kind of it, you guys. Those are a few meals that I make for my daughter, 6 of them to be exact. And you guys can see what I'm sending with her. So that's how I do it. As I said, you guys, there's gonna be a cheat sheet for this available. So sign up at thewateringmouth.com/cheat sheets and you can get all 6 recipes here in there. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the like button if you liked this video. Let me know down below, do you have any other meals that you love to feed your children who are plant-based, you know, eaters, or when they are eating healthy plant-based food, when you can get them to eat healthy plant-based food? Let's share down below so we can all kind of talk about this a bit. And of course, if you guys liked this video, you can also help me out by checking out my Patreon channel, which is where all the cool kids are hanging out. I have tons of patrons on there that are helping me to make more videos for you. So if you appreciate what I do, if you find this content that I give you for free all the time, every week, helpful, if you think it adds to your life, adds to your journey, please consider donating a little bit to help me out so I can make more of these videos, so I can actually maybe get to a living wage at some point. That's kind of my first amazing goal here. And the reason that I do Patreon is because I don't want my channel to be full of a bunch of ads for other people's products. I want this to be about us and what we're doing. You guys supporting me is going to allow me to be able to make more videos for you and keep this thing going indefinitely. So let's do this, okay? Thank you so much for watching. If you can't tell, I'm getting over a cold that I got from my lovely daughter. This is my life right now, and it is where it is. So thanks for bearing with my sort of hoarse voice here. Hope you guys like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye!